Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/thenerdcore. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Hello, nerds. You're listening to an episode on the Nerdcore podcast feed. If you're feeling generous, please consider pledging to a tier on our Patreon at patreon.com/thenerdcore. We have tiers as low as $1 per month. Thanks so much, and enjoy the episode.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Nerdcore podcast, the podcast that reviews the movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 298, and it is your third review in Scorsese Film Month. Today we will be discussing 1990s Goodfellas. As always, it is the nerdy Chicano here to host the show alongside my wonderful co-host, young Yoda himself.
Hi, everyone. We're actually in the studio today.
We have a studio space now, man, because my laptop got fucked up.
That's effort right there. Anybody else be just like, screw it.
Yeah, screw
We're just not recording this week.
Yeah,
not Raul. Raul gets a whole studio.
Yeah, gotta thank the people at Coog Radio for lending me the studio space for a while. It looks like we'll have some information to you all about how you can help me get a new computer soon. But in the meantime, we're going to be using this over here. So just thank you to Coog Radio for lending me the studio space here. But the Nerd Familia has to start some stuff here, and we got to keep going, man, because I'm not about wasting time and not getting my stuff done, you know.
As long as you don't drop kick your laptop next time.
No, I won't drop kick the laptop, Brad. I'm not that crazy. But Mr. CJ is taking care of the recordings over here. One of these days, I got to get CJ a microphone so he can just interrupt here on the things and say, "Yeah, this movie fucking sucks."
Hey, it's Goodfellas.
It's Goodfellas. It's a great movie, man. It's a great movie. All right. Well, Brad, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine and dandy. I didn't think we'd be recording today.
No, sir. We're gonna record today because if I don't record, the depression sinks in.
Okay. So I guess we better get to recording.
Yeah. Yep. What's it called? CJ's throwing hand signals at me. All right.
Is it middle fingers?
No, he's saying we're good. We're still good.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully everything's good. CJ looks like he left the room, but
he's done with you. He's done with this shit.
Yeah, no, because he said he was just gonna look at it for a while and then. But it's okay, man. Look, we're inside this nice little studio space. Brad's not here though. It's okay, because what do we expect to happen?
Well, because if I dropped my computer, that was meant on purpose. Because I have a giant desktop.
Yeah, it's a big giant. Well, look, you see, I'm trying to get a desktop now, so it's. Look, man, I just want to say that this happened on the worst time possible, but you know what? I'm just glad that we got somewhere to record now, and
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm impressed that you went to the lengths you did, because most people have been like, no, I guess we're not recording until I get a computer.
Well, I'm not the type of person to give up, man.
Yeah, for you to go and get a studio space and continue this journey on, I mean that makes me happy to be like second on this ship.
Yeah, I mean that shows you who's leading this ship. Everybody else wouldn't be in a bad position on this feed. It's only me who has to take care of these recordings. So I could have taught you how to do it, but I was thinking about many options to do. I was said, okay, we'll use Zencaster. But you know how much money we'd be paying for Zencaster now if we had to do every single day recordings? That'd be terrible. It'd be tough. And I said, okay, well, I could teach Brad how to do these recordings, give him my audition. I'm like, wait, Brad doesn't have a mixer to be able to make this audio happen. So
nope.
I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to my friends over here at Coog Radio and hopefully get everything done here. But look, man, we are broadcasting from the wonderful Coog Radio studio here, and I'm very thankful for them. I'm doing it how I used to, Brad, when I didn't have a stand. I've got the microphone held up in here. Hopefully, because the other computer was not working was not working. It was weird. It's funny how I've used Mac for so long and I don't know how to use the desktop Mac when it comes to this. I think I know why now that The mixer didn't want to work with Ashley because I just have no idea how to use the desktop version of the microphone, the Mac. So now I'm over here, like, we're recording on the Windows and everything's working really well. So I'm just here sitting back on this chair, and we're going to go ahead and talk about Goodfellas. So as always, my friends, I do not have my sound bites anymore. So we're just going to have to go back to the old school way, how we used to do it. So, Brad, for the people who are listening, we are going to do Goodfellas today. If you've never watched Goodfellas, then I want you to go ahead and click off here because we're going to go into spoiler territory. But in the meantime, I thank you so much for your patience. I know there was no news episode, but hopefully you guys can go ahead and keep being on this ship with us and really, being on this journey with us. And we really thank you for a little bit of a hiccup here. And for those of you,
can I put an asterisk on there? There was no news show because
there
was a news show.
There was. It got lost. It got lost.
It's gone. It's gone now.
It's gone. It's really gone, my friend. But I gotta say thank you to the people, especially to the Patreon supporters. You guys are gonna be one of the biggest help right now that we're gonna be using to get me a new computer. But we're gonna go ahead and do this. So for those of you who are leaving, if you could please, I hate asking for money, but this is when we need the help the most now. Streamlabs.com/thenerdcore if you want to do a one-time donation, or if you would like to, please go to one of the tiers on our Patreon at our patreon.com/thenerdcore, and would you just think about subscribing to one of those tiers, and it would really help us, guys. So without further ado, Brad, spoiler warning is in effect in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Brad, can you introduce us to Goodfellas?
Yes, but first I'd like to tell all our great future Patreon subscribers, if they pay $100, you can get Ludes of Raul.
I am not promising that. I'm not promising that. But Brad,
$100 a month.
You did say one of those tiers to get them a little bit of a nipple.
A little bit of nipple. I'll even put ice on it. How about that? Slow mo.
All right, Brad. Let's go ahead and introduce Goodfellas here.
All right. Since this is my pick, I guess I'll read. Coming from the greatest source on earth, Wikipedia. Goodfellas is a 1990 American crime film directed by Martin Scorsese. It is an adaptation of the 1985 nonfiction book Wise Guy by Nicholas Pileggi, who co-wrote the screenplay with Scorsese. The film narrates the rise and fall of mob associate Henry Hill and his friends and family from 1955 to 1980. Scorsese initially titled the film Wise Guy and postponed making it. Later, he and Pileggi changed the title to Goodfellas. To prepare for the roles in the film, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Ray Liotta often spoke with Pileggi, who shared research material left over from writing the book. According to Pesci, improvisation ad-libbing came out of rehearsals wherein Scorsese gave the actors freedom to do whatever they wanted. You don't say. The director made transcripts of these sessions, took the lines he liked the best, and put them in a revised script, which the cast worked from during principal photography. Made on a budget of $25 million, Goodfellas grossed $46.8 million. The critical consensus on Rotten Tomatoes calls it arguably the high point of Martin Scorsese's career. The film was nominated for 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, with Pesci winning for Best Supporting Actor. The film won 5 awards from the British Academy of Film and Television Arts, including Best Film and Best Director. Additionally, Goodfellas was named the year's best film by various critics groups. Goodfellas, widely regarded as one of the greatest films in the gangster genre, in 2000 was deemed culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant, and selected for preservation in the National Film Registry by the United States Library of Congress. Its content and style have been emulated in numerous other films and television series.
All right. So I guess we can go into some initial thoughts here, Brad. This is your pick. I'm going to let you go first, bro.
To me, this... Let me preface this before what I'm going to say. I hold very highly The Godfather as basically the maker of the gangster genre, but Goodfellas is by far my favorite of the gangster genre.
Yeah. Oh, I can understand you 100%. So, if I could please, if I would be allowed to, I'm going to go ahead and quote the great Michael Cole from WWE. This is vintage Martin Scorsese. I mean, this is Martin Scorsese 100% in his element. This is
I don't think it gets much better. I think this is Scorsese like at his best.
If we could pinpoint prime Scorsese, I think this would 100% be prime Scorsese.
For sure. Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, they put on a clinic. I mean, I personally think Ray Liotta should have got some kind of Oscar in there. I thought he was amazing. And De Niro was amazing as well. And Pesci was totally out of the park. I mean, Pesci on screen was captivating. You couldn't take your eyes off him. You were wondering what the hell he was going to do next. He plays those gangster roles of you don't know what the hell Pesci is going to do. It really is like he's ad-libbing everything he ever does. And it turns into gold.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I'm sorry. I'm over here trying to use the microphone stand that they've got in here because I'm too far away from using my actual.
Are you just going full karaoke right now?
Yeah. I mean, they had a band in here playing, and now I'm going like full karaoke in here, Brad. But it's great, dude. I love it. Thank you so much to Cook Radio for allowing us to be on this wonderful place here. So, look, I've got myself a microphone stand now. But I 100% agree with you, dude. I think that this movie does stuff that, that Scorsese is really known for. That one take, bro. I gotta tell you, that one take is probably one of my favorite scenes in a movie ever. When they're coming into the what's it called? Into the restaurant. Brett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm listening. Keep going.
Yeah, that one take is one of my favorites of all time, bro.
I'm trying to figure out which one.
When they come in and it's just following them, going through everywhere.
Through the kitchen and everything.
Yeah.
That was badass.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Although I did turn to Brenda because she was watching it with me, and I go, "That's a big fucking kitchen. Like, where are they?" And it's like just a big giant nightclub, but it seemed like the kitchen went on forever.
Yeah, it really felt like the kitchen went on forever, dude. But it goes to show you it's what Scorsese does the best with his films, where I feel like he really takes the audience and allows them to get to know the area that they're in, and he does that throughout this whole film, especially when he's just getting the audience to know the area that they're selling the drugs in, and the performances are incredible from Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci. Robert De Niro, I mean, all of them are on freaking fire, man.
And I think we gotta give it to Scorsese though. Like, without his direction, I don't think this movie is as good as it gets. Because there are moments in this where it's just so suspenseful, like when they're being followed by the helicopter. Yeah, and he's 100%. Just going around and he's high in coke and he's paranoid as hell. And he's like, "There's a helicopter following me." He points it out to everyone. Look, there's a helicopter. Everybody's like, "Yeah, but I think you're crazy."
Yeah.
And it turns out there was a helicopter following them the whole time.
Yeah. It turns out to be that the helicopter's actually going around. That's funny, dude. Even the kid, man. The kid who was playing it was pretty good too.
And I love that. I loved that they didn't start just right when he's a gangster. Like the previous film we watched. Casino. Like, they didn't just go in. He's already a gangster. Yeah. I mean, he's been promoted up and stuff. Yeah. This actually follows Ray Liotta's character from when he's young and gets his first job. He's like, "I'm not going to school anymore." And he tells his dad basically to piss off. And they beat up the mailman to keep any letters come from school. And it treats it so, like, the younger one, you're seeing he's brought in to what you can basically consider a family. Pretty much. His first time getting pinched. Like, they were a family. They were all there. But it shows you at the end, no one was there when he got... No he could be getting 25 to life. Nobody was there.
Exactly. What he says it, Ray Liotta says it. He goes, you what's it called? The ones who are closest to you, those are the ones who are going to want to whack you the most.
And, I mean, I think... And you really feel, especially some painful moments in this movie. Like when they basically whack Joe Pesci's character, and he's getting in his suit. His mom says he's looking really nice, and she's proud of him, and he thinks he's going to be promoted. Yeah. And then they just whack him. Oh, and when, De Niro's given that news, and I think De Niro might be the best scene in this, where he just breaks down. Yeah, and he's just like, no, because he thought that was going to be his guy. He thought that was going to be his boss he was going to work for, and they basically pulled the rug from under him.
like I said, this is also where that versatility of De Niro really shows, where he's just breaks down and cries, man. I've never seen that from De Niro before.
Yeah, it's something very new. I mean, it's something way different that we usually don't see from De Niro. I mean, we've seen him getting the hell punched out of him in Raging Bull before, but I don't remember crying ever in that. And yeah, it's just I think this is one of the roles where you get to see such range. You get to see crazy De Niro, who's basically just killing everyone.
Pretty
and
much.
then you get to see this De Niro who actually has a heart for his friends. And it felt really bad. Like, I didn't feel too bad when Ray Liotta's character turned on Polly. I'm like, I get that. Like, he gives you $3,200, basically tells you to scram.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could have killed the kid, but but then De Niro I felt bad for because, would De Niro have killed him? Maybe, but he didn't.
You know which scene really gets me though, that I was like I was surprised at how much I felt with that scene. When Ray Liotta,
was it the one where no, go ahead.
Where Ray Liotta comes back home, and the wife Karen, she got rid of all the drugs.
She flushed him down the toilet.
Yeah, and he's like, "Why would you do that?" And he's just crying and crying. He's like, "Why?" And they just end up sleeping right there on the corner with the gun in his hand, like he was just ready to kill himself, because he's like, "That's it. I'm done here. I'm done. This could have been my ticket out." And she flushed it all down the toilet, and it's justified because she was scared. She was scared that he was gonna get more time if they found those drugs.
And I think it's Lorraine Bracco, right, who played Karen? Yeah, Lorraine Bracco. And she just puts on a hell of a performance.
Oh, 100% man.
Like throughout the whole thing, and you really feel like, she's kind of the quintessential mob wife in a way, but she seems smarter. Like, she does seem like really much more smarter than the other wives they had on there. And I think you get that sense of she kind of knows what's going on with De Niro's character when he tells her he has some dresses for her. And he tells her to keep walking, and she gets to the end there and she looks in and it's just two big old dudes, and she's like, nah man, I got like a hair appointment or some shit.
Yeah, she's like about to get fucking whacked.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to point out something, Brett. In here they have like a thing that lights up when people are playing in here. Apparently my voice is loud enough for making these lights go off.
Hey, there you go.
I'm like, wait, seriously? Like, the lights are literally going off right now as I'm talking, dude. Like, is my voice that loud?
I mean, just booming out there, bro. Just make them lights go.
Yeah, once again, thank you so much, Coog Radio, for lending us the studio here. 10 patrons, and we already got a studio space.
Working hard.
Working really hard. Yeah, man. There was something I wanted to say about this movie, too. So, the last two films I watched, we watched Casino and The Last Temptation of Christ. Casino, I didn't want to watch it again because I felt that I've already seen it enough. I watched it enough. It was a long movie, and I was like, this is all right. I'm done with it. I can revisit this like next year or in a couple of months. With Last Temptation of Christ, I said I might want to revisit this in like 2 months and digest it again, because I really, really liked it, and I also really enjoyed what he went for it in that movie. With this one, I said, hey, man, why did I rent it for just a certain amount of time? God, I want to watch this again. Like, right now. I just want to watch this again.
So, I kind of got to agree. I mean, with Casino's good. Don't get me wrong. That's a really good kind of gangster film. But to me, that fails in comparison to Goodfellas. Goodfellas, Scorsese's on point. Liotta's on point. De Niro, Pesci. I don't think there's one failed actor in this whole movie, even from the kids. And I just gotta say, I think it's some of his best work, and there's a reason Scorsese's known for its gangster movies, and this is a good part of it.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I gotta agree with that. Also, I think that everybody's just even Thelma Schumacher, everything seems to be working so well together, so cohesively, and it makes this really incredible piece of art.
And I just love it's just following basically this group of the mob and seeing them you get to see them steal cars and do murders and everything the mob's known for, you get in this movie. And I think that's something really terrific and also very violent and scary in a way.
Yeah.
And this movie kind of has it all. Whereas Casino it had that, and it had some really good funny parts, but Casino to me felt like it just wasn't quite edited right. Like there were parts of it, you're like, okay, it's kind of slow.
Yeah.
Wish they get back to the action or something. Mm-hmm. Goodfellas, I think Scorsese just gets it. Like, okay, I'm going to show you. So I'm not going to show you the heist, but I'm going to tell you about the heist. I'm going to do all these voiceovers. Oh my God, I never have loved a movie more with more voiceovers.
Yeah, he really loves his narration, man.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to point out, and I don't know if anybody else is going to agree with me here, but and I know this is a thing that I do constantly that, that Frank says that he doesn't like when people like, oh, I saw a little bit of Hitchcock there. Oh, I saw a little bit of Kubrick right there. But oddly enough, I saw there was a couple of scenes where I saw a little bit of techniques from something that you would find in Federico Fellini's movies. That that Scorsese is really influenced by Federico Fellini. He talks about just how incredible a filmmaker he is and how I saw some moments where the camera was moving kind of in the way that you'd find in a Fellini movie. And I thought that was really interesting because, one, Scorsese is a huge Fellini fan. Two, I didn't think that, he'd go there to incorporate it in a mob film.
I mean, it's thinking outside the box in a way.
Yeah.
But that's what Scorsese's known for. But I gotta I guess Frank's opinion on that. I mean, I'm a huge Tarantino fan. So Tarantino basically picks and chooses what he wants and puts it into one movie. So I really have no issue if a director kind of pulls from other directors, as long as he puts out a good product.
Yeah, I think, and this is kind of what Tony was talking about a little bit in that post when it comes to Joker. I think people need to understand there's a thin line. I mean, there's a difference between homage and copycat cinema, which that Tarantino is part of that, where he takes stuff and he kind of changes it up and does it in his films. Whereas some people, like in a couple of, I'll bring up The Great Beauty, La Grande Bellezza from Paolo Sorrentino. That is very much an homage to Fellini's films. And he's channeling a lot of that Fellini in there to kind of pay homage to that great era in Italian filmmaking. Now, I don't think I'd say now where we take what's his Tarantino and like those scenes I tell you where it feels like he's copying parts of Godard's technique of filming. And he's gone and said like, oh yeah, I wanted to copy that part from like I wanted to kind of make this like from Breathless from Jean-Luc Godard. So I think that there's a big difference between homage and copying something. Like it feels like you're just watching a movie like that. I know Tony's gonna tell us something. I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting.
I mean, that's fine. I think everyone's entitled to their opinion. Mm-hmm. It's just I love that Tarantino. Because to me, Tarantino, the first and foremost, before he's a director, he's a movie lover.
Yeah, exactly.
And the man in his brain just has so much movie knowledge where he can pick and choose and then put together these films that are basically his own creation. And yeah, you'll be able to easily pick out, well, I know he took that from Kurosawa, or I know he took that from old B-movie Western, or, Aliens. Like, you can do that. And you can pick and cut out and choose, but Tarantino, I think, wants you to do.
Yeah.
And I think, in the likelihood, as in Goodfellas and the rest of the movies, like you said, it's an homage. It's not just them to copy. It's like, this will make my movie better, so why don't I use this skill?
Yeah. And this is going to be kind of a hot take here. I think some of the greatest directors of all time have always been movie lovers first. And I think that's what we see with Scorsese, just because he's done all those interviews where he talks about just the importance of Kubrick, Fellini, Rossellini, and just all of these filmmakers that he loves so much, and just how much they influence him. And you can tell from certain movies, it's like this guy just loves movies so much that he's doing what he's always wanted to do.
I will say, if people want to get a little hint of what Scorsese was in, go watch the documentary on Disney Plus, Empire Dreams, where they go over basically George Lucas's life, and they'll show you George Lucas was in this group of directors that included Scorsese, and they were kind of like just hippie directors that were kind of doing their own thing, and they were basically building off each other, and that's why you got such great films like Taxi Driver, is because they were trying to outdo each other.
Pretty
so
much.
that's Empire Dreams. It's on Disney Plus.
I'm telling you, man. Not just to sound like an old head, because I'm not old. I'm relatively young. It's just that the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, just especially the 70s and the 80s, the 60s through the 80s, they had these filmmakers that were going above and beyond of what was being created, and they were making something that is absolutely different than the mold that was being created at the time. And they just wanted to flip cinema over and create something new. And I love that Scorsese does that in this movie. He really does create something new. And
I gotta say, I gotta put The Godfather as a pillar of the gangster movies. I gotta put Goodfellas as the other pillar.
Yeah, I
it
think
is a
that
foundational movie.
Just two different movies, man.
It is a foundational movie.
Yes, yeah, I 100%. And here we go again with some of these hot takes. I don't think we could have ever had a Departed if we didn't have a Goodfellas.
No.
So
no.
That's gonna
there's a lot of movies I don't think that fall into the same category as Goodfellas and do a lot of things Goodfella does, and that would never happen without Goodfellas.
100%, man. So let's go ahead and get into scoring here, Brad.
All right. Me or you first?
It's your pick, buddy.
I gotta give it 10 out of 10.
Yep. Guess what? I'm giving my first 10 of the month here today, too. I'm giving Scorsese's Goodfellas a 10 out of 10. It is my third favorite Scorsese movie. Right in front of it are Raging Bull and Taxi Driver.
Which you also gave 10 out of 10. So,
exactly.
I mean, basically just say 1A, 1B, and 1C, and you got it.
Yeah, A1, A2, A3. But yeah, man, that's going to conclude today's episode. I want to thank especially Cougar Radio for the studio. I'm saying this again, but I truly appreciate it, man. And I want to thank you all for listening. Like I said, I don't have my sheet in here with my stuff to plug for housekeeping, but I'm gonna plug in the most important stuff right now. It's gonna be a tough time moving forward without my computer. But if you are generous enough to please help us out, I would greatly appreciate it. Go to streamlabs.com/thenerdcore or patreon.com/thenerdcore. I'm gonna go ahead and unveil things that we're gonna be able to do once we hit certain goals when it comes to fundraising. So
like nipples.
I mean, look, I'm gonna put one out here, man. I will gladly do an audio commentary of Venom if I have to.
Ooh. Ooh. What do you gotta pay for that?
Oh yeah, we get to paying for look, 150. No, hold on. I'm gonna say something. I'm not gonna say anything before we don't get it already because I gotta get a bunch of goals set down so we can actually get to fundraising for this. But I gotta talk to my wonderful Nikki, who's gonna help me raise for this. So. We're going to go ahead and start brainstorming, but you guys please go to streamlabs.com/nerdcore or patreon.com/nerdcore and really help us out here, man, because we really do need it. We really need it now. It's going to be it's not going to be a huge costly computer that I need to get, but it's going to be one that I definitely don't have the means for right now until I start working again, which should be soon because I just got a new job. But look. Without further ado, man, all I know I can tell you guys is to go and go to rate and review the podcast on the podcast app of choice. Thank you to our producers of the podcast. You can become a producer by going to Patreon, to our Patreon page. Cassie and Sarah, thank you so much for being associate producers. Grayson Barker and Shane, thank you so much for being executive producers, dude. Really, thank you, Grayson, for being just the great person that you are, man. These past couple of days have been making me reflect a lot on the people that have been backing us since day one, and really Grayson's been there for almost, I think, a year already as a producer.
A long time.
Yeah, so follow Grayson at WarlordHitman98 on Twitter and Grayson Barker 98 on Instagram. Brad, where can they follow Shane?
You can follow our friend Shane at twitch.tv/SWRKK or his Twitter at SWRKK Twitch. We love you, Shane.
yeah, thank you to Shane so much, man. And I'm gonna go ahead and walk on over here because CJ isn't here yet again. So I'm gonna have to, stop recording myself. But Bradley, if you could please send them into the podcast void.
All right, Ro. Thank you for being the host as always. Thank you to all our Patreon supporters out there, all of our listeners. We truly appreciate each and every one of you. We love doing this. Please help support us in this tough time. Where Raul accidentally dropped his computer. We'll get back though. Raul always finds a way, and I'm here to back him. So again, thank you guys. And I guess to end this episode, go follow our lovely Nikki Silenushi.
Yep.
Yoda out.